All right, let's do number 2. X plus 10 over x squared minus 2 equals 4 over x. All right, most every problem we have like this, if we had an x squared, we had to factor it, right? But you can't take anything out of that. That's not a perfect square. That one won't factor. So your common denominator on this problem, if we do one of everything that's on the bottom, is going to be x and x squared minus 2. X and x squared minus 2. You guys start your crossing out process. We'll see how far you can go with it. So I mark out x squared minus 2 and x squared minus 2. Remember, whatever's left, you got to distribute. X times x is x squared. X times 10 is 10x. Right side, x's cancel out. Whatever's left, you got to distribute. So I got 4x squared minus 8. Any question on that first step? Now I notice I've got x squares in this one, guys. I know I'm going to have to do quadratic formula. I'm going to move everything over to the right side and get it in the correct order. Remember, ABC order, standard form. So I move my x squared over. That becomes a minus 1x squared. That gives me 3x squared on the right side. I move plus 10x over. That's minus 10x. And I just bring down my minus 8. All right, you guys do quadratic formula now with that. And let's see what we get. 10 plus or minus 100 minus 4 times 3 times negative 8 over 6. So I got 100 minus 4. I got 196 in here. Square root of that's 14. So I got 10 plus or minus 14 over 6. Now you got to find both answers. Remember the plus and the minus. Just do the plus the first time. I got 24 over 6 is 4. And the minus the second time. 10 minus 14 is negative 4 over 6, which is negative 2/3. All right, any question on number 2? All right, let's go to number 3. All right, number 3, I'm pretty sure there's one like this on the midterm, pretty much exactly like this. 4 over w squared minus 3w. Okay, this time, number 3, look at the bottom, and I notice I've got a w squared. Okay, I can factor out something on this one. And this is how we normally do them. What do these two have in common? A w. So take out a w in the front. Looks like that. Now, what's your common denominator going to be if you use one of everything on the bottom? It's going to be a w and a w minus 3. I'm going to write it above every fraction. And I'm thinking the one on the midterm is very similar to this one. All right, you guys do your crossing out, and this one should be pretty quick.
Well, especially.
I don't think you.
You don't have to, they want you to.
Okay.
I
So like
do.
if I don't ever, if we don't ever get to it, it's not a big deal. I mean, you could get
I mean,
some
you
money.
wanna have it before college.
Depends on what all your parents are, but.
What y'all talking about, FAFSA?
We wouldn't get a lot.
It doesn't take very. All right, number 3, I got everything crossing out on the first one. I bring down 14. Watch this part. Make sure y'all didn't mess up here. Y'all see that w cancels out, right? So negative 8 times w is negative 8w. We're okay there. Negative 8 times negative 3. Y'all should have a positive 24, not a negative 24. That's always missed. Remember, you have to distribute that negative. Over here, I got negative 10w. So look, this one's not going to be bad because we don't even have to do quadratic formula. There's not an x squared in it. I'm going to take negative 8w, move it over, make it a positive 8w. 24 and 14 is, what's that, 38? I got negative 19. Somebody check that behind me. Leanna.
Okay. Since there's two
Where? What are you talking about?
Like,
First fraction, second fraction, third fraction.
okay, so when you simplify w squared minus 3w.
Gotcha.
You got w minus.
W and W minus 3.
Yeah, I heard that.
You ain't got a times the other,
No, because the rule is use one of everything that's on the bottom. So even though W is on the bottom twice, you just use it one time. Okay? All right, let's do 4, 5, 6, and 7. These should move much quicker. All right, what do we do if everything has the same log? Mark them out. So do you guys remember the rules on this? If it's got a minus in between, what do you change it to? Divide. 119 divided by W equals 7. We'll make it 7 over 1. Now y'all cross multiply and divide that. I got 7W equals 119. Somebody please divide that for me. W equals 17. All right, that's a quick and easy problem. We shouldn't miss that one on the midterm Thursday. 5, same thing on 5. Mark out all your logs, but now we got a plus in the middle. So our properties of logs, when it's got a plus in the middle, becomes times. So it's 8 times x equals negative 184. Somebody please divide it for me. Negative 23. All right, so what we did a month ago, we marked it out and write no solution. Why is this one no solution? Why do I mark it out? If it's a negative, when you plug it back in right here, something has to change it into a positive. Like if it was x squared and you squared it, would change it into a positive. Nothing's happening to it here. So if it stays negative 23, you got to throw it out. There's no answers left, no solution. I hope I didn't give you one like that on the midterm. That's kind of tricky. All right, let's go to 6. All right, 6. Mark out all your logs. What do I do since I got a plus sign? I times them. X times x minus 2 equals 15. All right, y'all distribute and go from there. You may have to do quadratic formula on this one. So we have x squared minus 2x. I got to move 15 over, make it minus 15. And if you're going to factor it or do quadratic formula, everything's got to be on the same side and in order, right? So go ahead and do quadratic, see what you get. All right, y'all should know how to do, well, you might have forgot 7. All right, Taylor, put your phone up for me, please. Two plus minus 4 minus 4 times 15.
do we have to mark any of the answers out for 6?
I don't know. Let me do it real quick. I got 5 and I got negative 3. Somebody check those for me. 5 and negative 3. All right. Well, I know we're going to mark out negative 3 because look, if you take negative 3 and plug it right here, what's negative 3 minus 2 give you? Still, it's a negative number, so mark it out. 5's okay. I think there is one like that on the midterm where you mark out one answer and keep the other. Because you're going to have like 4 of these problems. Okay, go to 7. All right, 7. Everybody always forgets what happens with these, with this 1/4 and the 2/3. Y'all remember what happens to them? If 1/4 is in front of the log, then it becomes the exponent for the number behind the log. So this is just going to be 4,096 to the 1/4 power times 729 to the 2/3 power. And you can type that one straight into your calculator and it should work out. If you guys remember doing the square root section, we got to get the square root by itself on the left side. So I got to move over plus 2, make it a minus 2. So my first step, 11 minus 2 is 9. First step's really easy. All right, second step. Now is when you got to square both sides because the square will cancel out the square root. You just bring down 8 plus 2, but 9 squared is 81. What's last? Move over plus 2, that's a minus 2, so I got 79. Got to square the 9. On the left side, the square and the square root take care of each other. On the right side, though, you're going to have to square the 9.
So where you square the one, you have to square the other.
Say it again.
Like if you square one side, you have to square the other too.
Yeah, that's the rule. So number 9 should be very easy. You guys do 9. X plus 5 equals 7. I may have to remind you how to do 10. 7 squared. All right, the answer I'm seeing on number 9 is 44. Do I need to show that one? Looks like y'all got it. All right, let's go to number 10. What's the first number we got to move over on number 10? Let's take this minus 7 and move it over first. Okay? That'll make it a positive 7. So 6 plus 7 to give me 13, right? Now we got to move over the negative 1 because you guys understand there is a negative 1 in front right there. So we have to divide by negative 1 on each side. That gets me x plus 13 equals negative 13. Whoops. Hold on, x plus 4. I'm sorry. Now we can do the last step. Now we can square both sides. Don't forget, if you squared negative 13, it's got to be inside parentheses because it's a negative. So x plus 4 equals 169. My answer is 165. See if y'all can do 11 by yourself. Pretty much just like number 10. First step, let's divide both sides by negative 5. That's the only way we can move it over. So I got square root of x plus 3 equals 7. Okay, finish it. So now we square both sides. So I got x plus 3 equals 49. So my answer is 46. Right on the back side, I'm going to do the first 3 just to get you going. I'll let you do the last 4 by yourself. This is what we went over Thursday. All right, your midterm, you're going to have, your whole back page of your midterm is going to look like this. It's going to be 7 of these log problems. Number 12, I got log base 14 of 196 equals x. First thing you got to do is set them up. How do I set this one up? 14 to the x power equals 196. You need to show me that. Now we need to make each base the same. So if the left side's 14, I got to turn the right side into 14. So 196 is 14 squared. You know, if you look on our list of perfect squares on the board and find 196, you can see the square root's 14. So these now mark out, and my answer is x equals 2. Number 13. Got to set it up. How do we set it up? Be 8 to the x power equals 16. Now, when you do this one, and you try to make the base the same on each side, I've got your exponents on the board. I'm going to leave them up here for the test tomorrow, for y'all Thursday. Look at those exponents. Find the one, find the column that's got 8 and 16 in it. That's how we did it a month ago. All right, so what does 8 change into? 2 to the 3rd. What does 16 change into? 2 to the 4th. Whoops. So if your x was already an exponent up top, I just left it up top. Mark them out now. You got 3x equals 4, so my answer is 4/3. I'll show you one more, then we'll see if y'all can do the back by yourself.
Are all of them that you did on midterm mine's gonna be able where we can like plug it in.
If you wanna do it that way, that's fine. Okay. 14. We got log sub 5.04. All right, what's different about 14? It's got a decimal. So when you have one that's got a decimal, you'll probably have 1. Change that decimal into a fraction. So go ahead and do that on your calculator. What's 0.04 turn into? 1 over 25. All right, write it down. Now make them the same base. Well, I know 25 turns into 5 squared, right? But what's going to happen with 5 squared when I move it up to the top? Comes 5 to the negative 2. Mark out your 5s now, x equals negative 2. All right, y'all help each other and try to finish the last 4. If you get stuck on one, let me know. All right, number 9. Matthew, how many answers does number 9 have? 3. So when they give you the first answer right here, you put it in the box, remember, and you bring down 1, 7, 0, and negative 36. Everybody likes doing these because they're easy. All right, so we're going to do synthetic division. Write it down. Now, if everything has an x in common, you can take out an x. But 36 doesn't have an x, so we have to do it this way. All right, so Harlan, you remember how to start this? What do we do?
Bring down the 1.
Bring down the 1 to start. Whatever's in the front, you bring it down. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Add them up, you get 4. Hey, have I written this down wrong? Looks funny. That's right? Okay. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. Add them up, you get negative 12. Negative 3 times negative 12. Okay. How do I know that I've done everything right so far? Because the last column canceled out. So my first answer is negative 3. How do I find my remaining 2 answers? Quadratic formula with those 3 numbers. There's your A, your B, and your C. Y'all do quadratic. Hey, do me a favor. Everybody mark out number 10. I actually messed up number 10. You can't, Jada, because you can't, because that's a 1I right there, so you can't. No, it would have to be all 3 of these numbers, Jada, or none at all. Okay. Let's go to 13. All right, 13 is different. 6x to the third minus 7x squared minus 5x. Okay, how many answers will 13 have? 3, but what's different about it is this time every number has an x in common. And when that happens, we don't have to do synthetic division. You have to take out an x. All right, everybody write that step down. So this is how you'll do 13 and 14. Do you guys remember what the answer is going to be for the x that's in front? Yeah, that's x equals 0. How do I find my remaining 2 answers? Just do quadratic formula for those 3 numbers. So it's not bad. You did this one. I'm doing this one now. There'll be a video for both of them. All right, so you guys are working on quadratic formula, and then y'all can go to 14. Do it the same way. It'll simplify it for you. You'll have one more step. Yep. Nope, that goes on the left side of the equal sign.
On the midterm, is there a section where we could use a calculator?
Nope, you can use calculator on the whole thing. All right, so my calculator broke down 32 into 4 root 2, correct? So now what do I divide everything by? Yep, divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. Negative 1 plus or minus 1I root 2 over 2. Bless you. All right, number 15 and number 16, I'm giving you the formula. 15, everybody forgets how to set up 15. It's the house payment problem. All right, so it says, and you're just going to have one of each on the midterm. Find the monthly house payment on a house that costs $253,000. Do y'all remember where $253,000 goes? Left side of the equal sign. It goes where the PN is in the formula. On the house payment problem, $253,000 goes on the left side. All right. P stands for what? Do y'all remember what the letter P stands for? Yes, your house payment. Good. Yeah, monthly payment. All right, so we start plugging in everything inside the bracket. We got 1 minus 1 plus I. Okay. What is the interest rate on this problem? 4.8%, right? What do I first have to do with that number? Good, 0.048. Move the decimal point back twice. What's the second thing I gotta do with that number?
You gotta times it by 250.
Why do we have to divide it by 12?
There's 12 months.
Because it's 12 months in a year, and you make a house payment every month. So you do it 12 times a year. Somebody divide that for me, tell me what you get. 0.004. Okay, that goes in for I on the bottom, and that goes in for I on the top. Last thing we gotta plug in, there's an N right here. Does anybody remember what the N stands for? Number of payments. Number of times you make a house payment. Well, we've already said you do it 12 times a year. For how many years? 25. What's 12 times 25? So this would be a negative 300. Why is there a negative there? We don't know. Doesn't matter. They've got it in the formula. So make sure you have a negative on that number. Okay, so now this one I got to plug it in 2 steps. The first step is plug in everything inside the bracket. It's going to give you a decimal. Let's do that first. I got a decimal. I got 174.52. Check behind me, I'll wait on you. Alright, so what's the last step on this one? Now you divide it. You put 253,000 on top of your fraction. On bottom, you divide it by 174.52. And our house payment is $1,449.69. Check that. I'm looking at a calculator that's kind of got a line through it. Is that right? Okay. All right, you're going to have one of those. And it hadn't been long in class since we've done that.